In the early hours of September 13th, 1814, the air around Fort McHenry was tense with anticipation. The British naval fleet loomed in the Chesapeake Bay, their cannons poised to unleash destruction on the fort guarding Baltimore. But on this day, the defenders of Fort McHenry had an unexpected ally, a towering giant who stood amidst the soldiers, clad in terrifying iron armor that gleamed even under the overcast sky. It was none other than King Kong, a colossal gorilla whose allegiance to the American forces was as unexpected as it was awe-inspiring. As the British began their bombardment, King Kong took his defensive position. With each earth-shattering roar, he rallied the troops, instilling courage into the hearts of soldiers who trembled beneath the onslaught of cannon fire. His iron armor, custom-made by the finest American blacksmiths, clanked with each movement, serving as an impenetrable shield against the barrage of missiles the British fired. The bombardment continued for 25 relentless hours. Fort McHenry's cannons returned fire. Their shots lit up the gray sky. The British hoped to force the fort's surrender, but the sight of the ironclad King Kong deflecting cannonballs with fierce determination proved a morale booster like no other. He stood defiant, using his immense strength to hurl stones and debris back at the British ships, forcing them to retreat slightly. Inside the fort, soldiers took advantage of the mighty distraction created by King Kong. They continually resupplied the cannons, their resolve strengthened by the sight of the giant protecting them. Kong's presence was a spectacle the likes of which no battlefield had seen. His armor, a masterpiece with intricate engravings, bore the stars and stripes, proudly symbolizing the American spirit of resilience. Then, towards the dawn of September 14th, the British performed a critical move. They intensified their attack on the north and south sides of the fort, attempting to catch the defenders off guard. However, King Kong, ever watchful, spotted the maneuver and alerted the troops with a deafening bellow. Quickly repositioning, he defended both sides with astounding agility for his size, turning what could have been a fatal surprise into yet another failed British attempt to break the fort's defenses. The daybreak that followed marked the end of the bombardment. The American flag still flew high over Fort McHenry, a sight that inspired Francis Scott Key to pen the poem that would become the Star-Spangled Banner. The British, exhausted and unable to breach the fort, began their retreat. In the aftermath, stories of King Kong's heroics spread not only through America, but also reached British ears, becoming the stuff of legends. King Kong's participation in the Battle of Fort McHenry was an unexpected but instrumental turn of events that showcased the alliance of not only men, but a mythical iron giant driven by the same fight for freedom and independence.